We're going to look at adding fractions. And a common mistake here is to say that 1/5 plus 1/10, there's a temptation to say that's 1 plus 1 is 2 and 5 plus 10 is 15. 1/5 plus 1/10 is 2/15. That is not right. We want to make sure that when we're adding fractions, we're not just adding numerators and denominators. Rather, we want to make sure the denominators are the same, of the same type, and then add the numerators. Our answer will also have the same denominator. So we want to make 1/5 and 1/10 have a common denominator. To do that, we need to think about the multiples of 5 and 10. So I'm going to list those now. So the multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. And the multiples of 10 are 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. They go on. And I want to see if there is a multiple that these two numbers share, one that they have in common. I can see that there is. They share quite a few. They share 10, 20. We can see that they would share 30, and that will continue all the way through. So I'm going to choose the smallest of those, the lowest common multiple, which is 10. And I want to change a fifth into tenths and leave a tenth as a tenth and add them to see what happens. So 1/5 into tenths and a tenth into tenths. Now if I want to make equivalent fractions, I want to know what I times the denominator by to get the new denominator. So 5 times 2 makes 10. And I want to carry out the same operation on the numerator. So I've times 5 by 2 to get 10. So I'm going to times 1 by 2 to get 2. 1/5 is equivalent to 2/10. It's the same fraction, just written in a different way, with a different denominator. Now this one already has tenths in the bottom, so 1/10 is equivalent to 1/10. That's obvious, we can see that. So 2/10 plus 1/10, well if I got 2/10 and I add another tenth on, I've got 3/10. But what if I'd missed the fact that 10 was the lowest common multiple? What if instead I had taken 20 and changed both of these fractions to have a denominator of 20? Let me have a look at that over here. So I want to change 1/5 into 20ths, and I want to change 1/10 into 20ths, and then I want to add those two results together. So remember, I'm asking what am I multiplying the denominator by to get my new denominator? 5 times 4 makes 20. I'm doing the same to the denominator. And again, 10 into 20, I'm timesing by 2, and 1 times by 2 is 2. So 1/5 plus 1/10 could be written as 4/20, is the same as 1/5, so let's change that to 4/20, plus, well, 1/10 is the same as 2/20. So this follows our rule, the denominators are the same, so I can add them. So 4/20 plus 2/20 is 6/20. That's true. So 1/5 plus 1/10 is 6/20. But this fraction is not in its simplest form. There's a factor that both 6 and 20 have in common. They're both even, so it shares a common factor of 2. So let's divide the numerator by 2 and the denominator by 2. And that tells us that 6/20 is the same as 3/10, which is exactly what we found over here. So if you were to miss the lowest common multiple, that doesn't matter, as long as you simplify your answer before the end.
Okay, Mary, so let's have a look at this one. So solve x plus 2x equals 12. So what do you think you do first?
Okay, well, I want x on its own, so I would put x equals 12 minus 2x.
Okay, so a lot of the time we want to get x by itself, but what we want to do first is get all of these x's together. So can you see anything we can do with this? Get all these together in one place.
Oh, okay, it's 3x, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
3x equals 12. Oh, and so x equals 4.
Brilliant, spot on, well done.